Hey everybody, welcome back to Alienated Press. This is today's daily news update for Saturday, January 28th, 2023. According to the New York Times, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp has issued an emergency order activating up to 1,000 Georgia National Guard troops to, quote, subdue riot and unlawful assembly, end quote, that may break out over a public safety training facility named, quote unquote, Cop City. The protests in Atlanta have gone over a week over the officer-involved shooting death of a demonstrator who had been living in the forested site of the planned training campus called Cop City. Last night, protesters in Memphis shut down the I-55 bridge after video of the police beating Tyre Nichols was released. As of 8:30 p.m., more than 100 people remained on the Harahan Bridge, with protest leaders saying they wanted to talk to the Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland and Memphis Police Department Chief Sherilyn Davis before disbanding. It says that as they passed by residences, some people came out and cheered. According to the Kansas City Star, nurses in Kansas City are going on strike, saying that low staff makes hospitals unsafe and demand an end to manufactured crisis. Concerned with dire staffing levels that have led to an environment they believe is unsafe, Kansas City nurses on Thursday protested at Research Medical Center for the hiring of more workers to serve patients. They were organized by local members of the National Nurses Organizing Committee. They also say the nurse shortage, a problem being seen across the nation, is part of a manufactured crisis that stems from corporate healthcare executives caring more about the bottom line than the health of their patients. According to military.com, 3 sailors have committed suicide on Navy aircraft carriers in just the past 2 months, with the latest death occurring on Monday. The Navy disclosed that a string of suicides on the ship that happened Monday goes back to at least November 2019. Sailors lived aboard the George Washington from April 2021 until the suicides forced the Navy to move the crew off the ship at the end of last April. Following the suicides, it became clear that living conditions aboard the ship, with frequent outages of heat or ventilation, power and running water, as well as constant construction and noise debris, were a key complaint for the crew. According to Nexshark, over 100 Harvard students have staged a walkout on a professor who had violated the school's sexual harassment and professional conduct policies after 2 internal investigations last year. In February 2022, 3 anthropology graduate students sued the school for ignoring complaints filed by victims against the professor. The PSL has released an updated list of locations where there will be Justice for Tyre Nichols demonstrations. You can look here, see if you see your location. If you don't see your location, there might still be demonstrations in your area to keep an eye out on. If you know people who live in these areas, please let them know that these are happening.